Hello, my darlings. It's Jenni Noyes talking about the creative process again. This is the fourth video in a series of 7, talking about the creative process of life. No big task. So yeah, just exploring some key themes that I have found along my journey that have excited me, and I just want to share with you because they may also be something that supports you in your creative journey. If you want to explore your own creative journey more with me, I'll talk about that at the end of the video. Today I want to share with you the chambers of the heart. Now, in all the other 3 videos, we've talked about the number 7 and looking at self holistically. In this video, we're going to look at duality and the ever important 2, not 3, that's not the magic number, 2. This idea of balance, duality, and I'm always looking at different ways to sort of share my inspirations. And the other day I started looking at the chambers of the heart, and just got this huge inspiration, because when I'm trying to talk about masculine and feminine energies, I think people get caught up on gender. For me, the masculine and feminine is not to do with gender. You get feminine men and masculine women, and actually I think the mental health of our society will suddenly get so much better when we get over assigning masculine to males and feminine to females. But anyway, looking at this idea of the masculine and feminine energy in terms of the heart. So if we look at the atriums of the heart, so there's 4 chambers in the heart. The atrium of the heart, if we look at that as the feminine, and if we look at the ventricles as the masculine energy. So the atrium receives oxygen-rich blood. We have a left and a right atrium. So the right one receives oxygen-rich blood, and the left one receives oxygen-poor blood. Now we could say the oxygen-rich is the good blood, and the left is not the great blood, but it's all part of the process. It needs to go on this cycle. The blood has to deliver the nutrients until it has none left and then return to the heart. So it's almost like the good and the bad don't apply. It's like just the feminine, we also label things as good and bad, but actually they're all part of the process. So that the feminine aspect receives both rich and poor, and then it sends it to the right or left ventricle, depending on whether it's rich or poor in oxygen. And then the ventricle delivers that to the body. So I like to see the ventricles as the masculine energy. So the feminine is the receiver of everything, and the masculine is the deliverer. So I talked a little bit in the last video about how I gave an example of how I see our society to be very masculine orientated. Again, not a gender thing. It's more the concept of masculinity, which is like deliver, achieve goals. But it's almost like we've forgotten to check in with the feminine. You know, the feminine is connecting with our bodies and saying, "Hey, world, what do we need?" And we're obviously missing out on that because we are swiping all the trees off the planet. We're, littering the seas with rubbish, and it's almost like we're going after all these goals, but we're not actually checking in with what our bodies, the body, the feminine of the earth needs. So, if we listen to the feminine, then we might be like, right, we need to build more solar panels. That would be a listening to the feminine and then having a masculine taking it forward and creating. So it's this idea of balance, and I think it's terrifying to open up to the feminine. It's terrifying because we're scared or feeling the bad, because our society doesn't really respect that qualitative feeling. It's very much quantitative. It's about, ticking boxes and delivering outcomes, particularly in the public sector. I've seen some amazing projects that are more long-term, that the quality of the delivery is amazing. But because it's qualitative, there's no box ticking. It's not numbers, it's not quantitative, it's not statistical. So, the party and power are like, after 2 years, it's not delivering the results, we're going to get rid of it. And I've seen that time and time again in the public sector. So, what happens when we connect to our feminine? And you also have people that spend too much time in the feminine and never achieve anything. I definitely have been more weighed towards the feminine in my life. But the point is it's that balance. It's finding that balance. And the creative process that I work with, it explores the masculine and the feminine in equal balance. Half the questions are masculine, half the questions are feminine. And so, yeah, what happens when we find this balance? We become open. We're able to feel everything. Everything is here to be felt. We connect with our hearts. We bring wisdom. And we share it out. It's quite loving. And we say to our masculine, beloved, this is what we need, and we share it out. So yes, again, moving away from fear of feeling the bad, the oxygen poor blood, allowing it to come, and trust that we are supported. So if you want to come and have your own experience of the creative process and just connect with yourself in a non-judgmental environment and find your own, you may already have your own inner truth, but just connect with it more. It's creating that space in this very fast-paced society, just creating space to check in with it. If you don't want to come and share that with me, just drop me a line and say anything that you would like to see me exploring more in these videos. Any opportunity I get to challenge myself and learn more and become more understanding of the creative process, I'm up for this. So please do get in touch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. All my love. Right.